Hello everyone, it's Marcia-KATE here. Hope everybody's having a really good day. For my discussion board 3, talking about conflict in the workplace, I wanted to reflect on the time that I worked in Disney World. So I did the Disney College program for about a year back in 2023, and I loved it, don't get me wrong, but there were definitely some moments with the position that I was in. We really had to deal with conflict, especially coming from guests that didn't know what was going on or where they were. So just for a little background, I worked in Magic Kingdom, which is one of the biggest theme parks in like Disney World. So like it's the most attracted to, that's where the castle is. Whenever people think Disney World, they think Magic Kingdom. So I worked there, and I worked at an all-you-can-eat, like, inclusive character dining restaurant, and it was right in front of the castle, absolutely beautiful. It was very intriguing to eat there during the fireworks. A lot of people wanted to sit by the windows, that way they could see what was going on whenever the fireworks show would start, but of course there's only limited amount of tables. So this is during about like probably the holiday season. I think it was like Martin Luther King weekend or something, and I had a guest come up, and it was her and her daughter, and she was very, very frazzled. You could just tell that she was very upset. And she comes up and she storms up to me and she's like, "Where can I go to get a vegan meal?" And I was like, "Well, there's not too many options, unfortunately. Like, we do have options here. However, I think I said something along the lines of like, yes, we can accommodate you, and yes, we can accommodate like your food preferences and everything. However, you're still gonna have to pay the buffet price, which is like kind of expensive. I think it was like $60 or $70. And this lady, oh my goodness, she absolutely lost it. She was so very upset and just like was so very frustrated that she couldn't get a meal to accommodate her and her daughter. Her daughter was probably like 13 or 14. Her daughter was crying. Like, it was just a very hostile situation. But looking back on things now, I don't think that I really used my communication skills properly to kind of soothe the situation a little bit more. I was definitely probably inflaming it more than I should have been calming it. And one thing I wanted to make sure is that I control my inflammatory language. So I make sure to not use words that are gonna frustrate guests. So whenever you tell them about a wait, whenever you actually use the word wait, whenever you use the words "we cannot accommodate you," whenever you use the words that really just kind of make them think that there's something worse going on than there actually is. And like one of the other issues that we would always have too is that guests would want to come inside before their whole party was there, and it was fine until it wasn't. And then you'd have a group of 12 people and only 4 people were there and you couldn't accommodate them, and then you have 4 people yelling at you. Anyway, with this guest, the vegan guest with her daughter, she actually did end up coming inside and she did end up eating and she had a wonderful time. And we did calm down the situation. I had to pull a manager over and everything. But something that I would just like to reflect on about that situation is that I did the absolute best that I could with the communication skills that I had. But looking back on it now, I could definitely have done a little bit better with controlling that situation and using less inflammatory words and being more aware of how I communicated with her on what I did and how we could make things work for her. But in the end, she had a great experience, and that's what really mattered. So yeah.